Brittany Peach, an employee like many of other people in America, decided to record her experience while she was getting laid off. What I like us to do is experience this with her. We're gonna watch this TikTok video and we're not going to say whether we agree or we disagree. We're gonna apply a framework. Why? Because we like self-awareness assignments. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you have not been here before, my name is Danny, but now I'm going after Dear Danny Daniela because it's fun. And the new channel is Dear Creator, where we are finding the creator within ourselves. How do we create our own reality? How do we experience other content in their creation? How are we inspired? How are we impacted? And then we're going to practice our critical thinking skills. And we're going to practice self-awareness. And I'm inviting you all on this journey because this is something I am passionate about. And hopefully there's at least one other person who is passionate about applying self-awareness in their day-to-day. So since I'm on social media a lot, we are going to look at social media content. And we're going to start off with Brittany's video. In the comments, I want you to share your journey. I want to cultivate a community. I want to cultivate an environment where we get inside of comments and we have an intentional response. Sometimes our responses are based off of how hurt we were from a particular situation or how we have a lack of understanding of what someone can go through, or we're just mad, angry, or mean. And some content might call for that, and others, many of it doesn't. So I don't know if you've been out here in the internet and been on social media as much as I've been lately, but I've noticed that sometimes we'll get out there, right? And we'll see a content that seems very harmless. And then you'll look through the comments, because we'll go through comments today. We'll go through the comments and we're like, where did that person mind? How did that person's mind travel there? How? I am not exempt from it. I don't think you are. We all have room to grow. And I would love for you to come and join me as we have explorations of Earth experiences. So the Earth experience today is being laid off. X equals layoff experiences. I would love to know how you all navigated, if you ever had that journey, what critique you have for your own self, your own experiences in the comment. We're going to go the other way. Instead of critiquing whether someone did something bad or right, tell us in the comments exactly what your solution is. Have solution-oriented comments or apply a framework to your journal assignments. So the framework that we're going to use today is called CARE, because we care. Care. C-A-R-E, care. C is for critique. We are going to critique the video in a different way, though. Explain what's happened in the interaction. Think about the dynamics at play. It's not about pointing fingers, but understanding the different elements of the conversation. How do the participants communicate? What seems to be the underlying issue? Remember, this is about unpacking the situation and not the people. A is for acknowledge. Recognize emotional responses. How did you feel watching the video? Do you empathize with Brittany when you're watching the video? Do you have a different emotional response? Recognize these feelings without judgment. This is the step about understanding your emotional response to similar situations. Are there patterns on how you react to conflict or stress? Reflect, learn from the experience. What can this situation teach us about handling tough conversations? Think about times you faced difficult discussions, either as a giver or receiver of tough news. What did you learn from those experiences? How have they shaped your approach to communication and understanding others? And last, we're going to engage. This might be the most important part, because after we watch the video and we go back to our own lives, how do we apply our insights? The reason why I like this part so much is because the practice of a basketball player or a soccer player requires them to, at least every week, if not every day, revisit this gift that they have. So even as a person who considers themselves the most self-aware, if we don't make moments and time to actually just practice outside of the actual events in our lives that causes us to have emotional responses, then we might miss the mark more times than we want to. So that's what I'm here for. I hope that you are here too to do the same. Let's watch today's video.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi.
Yes, I'm so sorry. My name's Rosie. I'm just joining the call. Nice to meet you. I'm on the HR team.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting with me and Rosie. We have an important meeting today. We finished our evaluations of 2023 performance. This is where you have not met Cloudflare expectations for performance. We've decided to part ways with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Sure.
So I started August 25th. I've been on a 3-month ramp, and then it was 3 weeks of December, and then a week of Christmas, and then here we are. I have had the highest activity amongst my team. Since I've started, I have had 3 contracts out, done a really great job managing my deals up until the very end that decided not to close last minute. So I don't think that makes a lot of sense for me in my Cloudflare journey here so far.
I hope you got a chance to just watch the video, maybe apply the framework where you can. But in the comments, I want you to do this. Share your journey. Share a journey. Maybe you've been laid off before. Maybe you had the fear of being laid off. When I responded to this video, I thought I've been in more than one position. I've been able to escape the layoff. I've been laid off. I also understand the point of view of seeing others get laid off when you're pretty much in a safe position, and how other people have escaped that anxiety of being laid off by creating their own additional sources of income. And there's so many different narratives, there's so many different stories that we can take from this experience. What I really wanted to present to you all is this understanding of how there are different pockets of the internet. So there's a creator on the internet, her name is Candace Owens. She shared this video, and I want to show you how she shared the video, and then I want to compare it to a different part of the internet, a different social media platform, and how they shared it and what the comments look like. So let's go ahead and just look at this first video from Candace Owens and how she presented it, and then we're going to look at about 4 of the comments just for the sake of time, and then we're going to go into another one.
We've decided to part ways with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there. I have had 3 contracts out, done a really great job managing my deals up until the very end that decided not to close last minute.
You were unable to close a deal. Generation TikTok doesn't understand that the internet is forever. And now that people are talking about her because she wanted them to be talking about her, when people get her resume and they look her up and they say, okay, great, this looks good. I'm going to do a basic Google search to make sure she's not a criminal. They're going to find this video. They're going to find this video of a young woman who decided to secretly record the company that she worked at because they did what most companies do. They fire people that are not performing well. And is that going to bode well for her future? Does that seem like a particularly trustworthy employee? No, it's sleazy.
So that's that first video. That's Candace and how she responds to the video. So one thing I want to point out is the title of the video is Women Secretly Record. So that's what is the clickbait, you know, where that's what triggered her to maybe even do a video, or maybe her marketing team just decided to do that. But then I just wanted to take a look at the comments, because I thought what stood out to me when I watched this video and I looked at the comments initially was that the comments were all for how Candace had her argument. And I think this is important for us to know when we're navigating these internet streets, is that you might be in a pocket of the internet where all the people think one way and they don't have different perspectives, or they don't invite an opportunity for us all to look at a different perspective, or even understand, or even include anything other than division. So I'm gonna read 4 of them. You let me know what you think and how you respond now. So this one says, who says I'm going to stop you right there to your CEO? Oof. Respectfully, let him finish. This is a very interesting point. I would love to hear your comments on how you reflect to this one. This one says, she just burned all her bridges. This next one says, as a manager, supervising Gen Z has been the hardest thing ever. I know managers who actively don't post entry-level jobs anymore because they don't want to deal with it. Gen Z has been taught the employer is the enemy and is always in the wrong. I'm a millennial and can even see the difference. And this one says, another example of victim mentality. So now what I want to do is I want to shift to one more creator. This creator is on LinkedIn. And the reason why I went to this other creator is because when I did go through these comments, there was one that stood out, and it was that's interesting that you say she'll never get a job again, because there are people on LinkedIn who actually praised her. So I tried to find that exact post, but I couldn't find anything that really aligned with that. But I will show you what I did find. All right, so this is a creator on LinkedIn. So now this was a video posted on Instagram. She may have posted it on YouTube and TikTok and other ones, but I saw it on Instagram. I saw the community comments on her page, and I looked at this other creator's page. And he says, I'm a huge fan of the chaos Brittany Peach created last week with her viral Cloudflare layoff video. I quit my first recruiting job due to being forced to make these kinds of nonsense calls. The first time it happened, I thought it was a really unfortunate situation, but mistakes happen, and I'm sure my employer felt horrible about it too. Then a few weeks later, they had me do it again. I threw back 2 shots of tequila first, then cried after the last call. I immediately started looking for a new job and then left in less than a month. Never again. I've conducted fire and layoffs calls since then, but I was always able to give sound reasoning. They were either bad at their jobs or the startup genuinely could not afford to keep them due to circumstances beyond their control, not due to careless headcount planning. The narrative of this is just how it has to be for legal reasons, or the HR people have to do this to hold onto their careers is false and gross, and you could feel icky if your career is so far in the dumps you will throw away any humanity to hold on to a mid-level HR job. So really, why did I spend so much time trying to dissect this video, look at different content, look at different comments? It's because there are so many different people out here in America who respond in such a passionate manner. And I believe, and this is just an assumption because I'm just a human being living on earth observing people, but I believe people do this because of how we treat one another, how we are raised, why we do this. We can leave that all up to our morals and our standards, but it means that there's a space for this. There's a space for you as a creator to be an inspiration and to support people. There's also a space for creators to get real, as they say, be 100 and show cards. Maybe in some of content that comes from Candace Owens, she believes that she's given the hard truth. But when we really unpack some of the conversations that we're having and the way that we have it, it's still important on how we go about those conversations if we want to have a change. Making fun of people or making people feel little for maybe a mistake. Maybe it was not the best decision for this young lady to do this online. Maybe it will change her world, but we are the people. We make up the people. So if we have a whole bunch of people who respond this way or act this way, we can also create other people who are going to be like, hey, I understand that probably wasn't the best move, but I understand that you were emotional at the time because I'm a human and I also get emotional. And even though we have the internet now, we didn't have it back then, so we might have made the same mistakes. So just being able to look through the different lenses can be a perspective that we can adopt. But just to sum it up, these were other people who actually, I'm going to make this full circle. I'm just going to share 4 of them. Brittany Peach, the CEO, has since revealed you were one of only 40 bad fits fired among over 1,000 salespersons. You also admit in the video you closed 0 sales. What did you expect to happen? Even if they hired too many people, that was just a catalyst to inevitably get rid of the underperformers like you. If you wanted to keep your job, then perform better and sell. Woo, did you feel that, or did I just make that up? Did you feel it, or did I just make it up? Like, whoever that person was, they were like, okay, like, Here's another one. This one says, you are a hero. The workers need more solidarity like this. I live and breathe for this kind of defense of the human condition. Don't let the naysayers come and rain on your parade. You did a good job. And there's plenty of places out there for you to get a soft landing. You're essentially famous, at least for the moment, on LinkedIn. And I've seen plenty of people in hiring positions receive this very positively. You'll get hired faster than any of us. Won't be long. If I can make a suggestion, take their logo off your banner. No need to give them free advertisement with your accomplishments. And then this last one, all respect for you, Brittany. I've got faith that you'll land a dream role in short order going forward after all your objection handling is peak. I mean, this story was interesting to me because of course, we're always going to have people who think one way or the other, but I just don't want to just say, oh, it's always going to be people who think this way. I think we're always going to have it hard. People are always whining. Has anyone stopped to think why Gen Zs are always whining? Like, we want to say that they're whining all the time, but maybe all those whiners or whining, maybe all the whining is coming from a solid place of what happened before. If we were so good at the generation before and the generation before and the generation before because we all have room for mistake, then we probably would have the best generation right now. So what happened in those previous generations when it was so perfect and it was so right that caused us to have the generation that we have now where we look at them as whining? Maybe it's just all the whining that generations in our past couldn't do all spilled out on one generation. That's just a theory. But nevertheless, this video was designed for us to work through our own journeys, to work through the way that we think in our own lives, to practice more self-awareness. And really, every time you want to go online and you want to critique someone in a negative way that doesn't provide a solution, maybe use that same energy and apply it back to the flaws in your own world. If you have a solution that's really going to help mankind get back to a place where we all work as one, if we ever did that, I'm not sure. But if that is a truth, that we were once one and we've gotten divided based off of all of the that we've done to one another, then maybe we should start applying other tactics on Earth. But that is my Dear Danny for today. Let me know what you think about this video. If there's any content that you want me to explore, go ahead and send me an email. I'll have all that information in the description box below. Until next time, hold on to you as much as you can. Hold on to your health, your well-being, and your mind. Be mindful. Bye.